Before she would go on to play a sassy rich girl in Riverdale, Camila Mendes got a taste for acting early on in her life, and I'm gonna take you through a bit of it. I'm your host, Michaela, and make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know every time we upload a new video. But without further ado, let's get started. Mendes was born on June 29th, 1994 in Charlottesville, Virginia to Brazilian parents. Her father Victor was a business executive, and her mother Giselle is a flight attendant, and she also has an older sister. Shortly after her birth, she moved to Atlanta, Georgia, then back to Virginia, then to Orlando, Florida. Due to her father's job and later her parents' divorce, she moved 16 times growing up, but mainly lived in Florida. When she was young, she was eager to be taken seriously. Quote, "I was really committed to the choice and to the emotion. The audience was laughing and I started to get a kick out of it, realizing people enjoy this," she admitted. According to the actress, her mother noticed her keen sense of playing to an eager crowd and quickly enrolled her in a private school with a strong arts program. By senior year, Mendes was headed for New York City. Camila Mendes said that she had gotten a tattoo to commemorate surviving a traumatic time in her life. Although NYU's Tisch School of the Arts was clearly the ideal place for her, Camila's time at the legendary art school wasn't an entirely positive experience though. She opened up to Women's Health about a traumatizing incident during her freshman year, after which she had to build a home, inked above her ribcage in cursive. "I got the tattoo after my freshman year," Mendes recalled, fighting back tears. "I had a very, very bad experience. I was roofied by someone who sexually assaulted me." The tattoo refers to Mendes' need to make everything in her life feel safe, secure, and comfortable, just like the ideal physical home. It also reminds her to stay strong in both herself and the environment around her, while always also staying connected to her body. "Whenever I feel like I'm going through something difficult, I think about what I can do physically for myself," she explained of her workout regimen, which Mendes credits with helping her stay strong mentally too. Camila Mendes is also supposedly not interested in becoming a brand. In direct contrast to many other young superstars, Camila isn't keen on the idea of capitalizing on her newfound fame for anything other than job opportunities. She is a serious artist who is utterly committed to her craft, and becoming a brand is the last thing on her mind. As a Riverdale star put it in a conversation with Teen Vogue, "Social media feeds into the question of who I am, what's my brand," she noted. "I don't feel the need to brand myself. In fact, I feel the need to purposely not brand myself." Although she is part of one of the hottest shows on TV, Mendes is focused first and foremost on the work itself, choosing interesting indie movies while on breaks from Riverdale, such as Coyote Lake. Her character is totally different from Veronica Lodge, but apparently that's the point. Mendes argued, "I'm going to value myself for what I do and what I bring to the world in my work." Camila Mendes' Riverdale audition also was, quote, "harrowing." It's hard to imagine a more exciting first role right out of college for an up-and-coming actor or actress than Riverdale, even without knowing how the show would take off. But the part of Veronica Lodge didn't come easily to Camila Mendes. In fact, as she revealed, getting it was kind of a nightmare. "I had the most harrowing audition process. They were like, 'You're our top choice, but we want to open up a new search, and we want someone that can compete with you.' Mendes knew how much the part would mean for her, revealing, 'I lost sleep, I was crying every night because it felt like I was so close to something that could be big, and like my life and career changing. Thankfully, it all worked out in the end, but Riverdale certainly wasn't a first job well earned.'" Ashley Graham was also said to have inspired Camila Mendes to stop obsessing over being thin. Camila Mendes has opened up about her eating disorder struggles, saying that it took her years to realize she even had a problem. "Because I was never that skinny, I never thought that I did have the disorder," Mendes admitted. The Riverdale star obsessed over being thin from a young age, and her changing, more womanly body caused a serious alarm. She acknowledged there weren't many body-positive champions at the time to set her straight, but thankfully nowadays there are. "Now we see models like Ashley Graham who are encouraging women to embrace being unique, and that made me let go of the standard that was established so long ago. That thin is the only type of beautiful," she explained. These days, Mendes is also committed to working with Project Heal, an organization that raises both awareness and funds for the treatment of eating disorders. Camila Mendes then got professional help to cure her diet addiction. Even with the evolving discussions surrounding acceptable body types, Camila Mendes needed professional help to curb her addiction to yo-yo dieting. It wasn't too long ago that the actress was stuck in a dangerous cycle. "About a year ago, I got to a point when I realized I needed to see someone. So I went to a therapist, and she recommended a nutritionist as well. And seeing both of them changed my life. So much of the anxiety I had about food went away, and I started learning more about nutrition," Mendes admitted. After being cured of her, quote, "fear of carbs," the Riverdale star began to embrace eating properly and working out, focusing on being strong, fit, and healthy rather than starving herself to be skinny. Now she can relax and be comfortable in her own skin. "She also cured my addiction to dieting. I was always on some kind of weird diet, but I haven't been on one since. I'm very proud of myself," she shared. Camila Mendes also went through a Blair Waldorf phase, as she puts it. Given her prominence as a member of the Riverdale posse, Camila Mendes has to deal with teens and preteens online and in person at conversations more than often than she'd probably like. Although the attention can be difficult to handle sometimes, she understands that a lot of the strong attitudes she comes up against have to do with immaturity. She said, quote, "Often these people are basically children. children. She speaks from experience, having apparently been a little terror herself at their age. I did so many things when I was a 13-year-old. I was mean when I was 13. In fact, Mendes apparently even took inspiration from another sassy TV starlet. It's easier for Mendes to separate herself from harsh comments as a result because, quote, when I look back on that time in my life and I think that these kids are going through the same thing, I can't really judge that much. Camila Mendes also has to actively try to keep things private. Camila Mendes is the definition of an open book as evidenced by, well, everything she shared with the press. The actress gave an incredibly open interview with Nylon about how difficult she finds it not sharing everything with the world. Quote, I'm so willing to talk about anything at any given moment in time. I thrive off that. I have to actively try to keep things private, she shared. My first instinct is to be open. Most of the time I'm like, F it, I'm just going to talk about this. I'm not precious about a lot of stuff. Mendes sees it as a way of connecting with other people, but her openness extends to almost everything in her life. With the actress admitting, I probably would show my breast to anybody, she continued. I actually would probably do that. I don't really care. It's just this genuine. Yeah, this is my chest. Is there a problem? I don't understand what the problem is. Still, certain things are off limits, especially considering that she doesn't exist in the public eye alone. There is, however, one thing that Camila Mendes won't discuss. One element of Camila's life she absolutely will not discuss in any great detail is her romantic relationship with Riverdale co-star Charles Melton. She explained to Los Angeles Confidential that although her life is all about transparency, there are certain things Mendes can't control. I understand how my spoken words can translate into written words and how things can appear out of context. It's like, yeah, even though I feel comfortable talking about some things, do I really want to see it written over and over again? Sometimes it's not really worth it, she explained. The actress does enjoy working with Melton. However, though she was quick to note their on-screen dalliance did not arise as a direct result of their real-life relationship. The show is fictional. I don't have an attachment to it. All I'm attached to is my character. Whatever direction the writers take. I'm adaptable, I always make it work, she stated. We may not know much about her romance with Riverdale co-star Charles, but certain key details have slipped out. For instance, as reported by E! News, Mendes was confronted with a fan question that was actually from Melton while she walked the red carpet alone at the 2018 E! People's Choice Awards. The question, which was about them working together, led to Mendes hilariously revealing that working with her man is a lot, very intense. She joked, you can't talk to him, you can't look at him, he only eats cashews rolled in cheese. She may have been kidding about Melton's backstage demands, but the Riverdale starlet did reveal something about the relationship that was genuinely sweet. His nickname for her. I'm Baby Dragon. I'm just like a baby dragon, she admitted. When questioned about what the nickname actually meant, Mendes explained, cause I'm kind of a, ferocious a little bit, I'm cute but psycho. When Camila Mendes and co-stars first landed in Vancouver, Canada to start shooting for Riverdale, they headed out for a bonding session at the last place you'd expect their on-screen characters to gather. Teen Vogue noted that the crew of ladies went to a Color Me style establishment to paint pottery together and to get to know each other. And apparently it worked. As Mendes recalled, they coach each other through self-tape auditions and keep one another company through these long and often isolated hours on set away from their friends, families, and homes. None of us knew what to expect and we've all been dealing with it together, she explained of their instant bond. Aside from Riverdale, she hasn't been in a ton of other big things, except for the new movie that just came out on Netflix called Do Revenge. People have been describing it as worlds colliding, as the cast has people from the shows Alexa and Katie, Outer Banks, Stranger Things, Euphoria, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 13 Reasons Why, and of course Riverdale. Camila has an estimated net worth of $4 million and had purchased a $1.9 million property in May 2020. I finally have a home in LA. I couldn't say that for the longest time, but now I actually do. The actress shared shortly after moving in. And she owns an Aston Martin Rapid for $210,000, a Tesla Model 3 for $60,000, and a Mercedes GLE for $63,000. So you know she's living the luxurious life. But that is all. Let us know your thoughts in the comments and we will see you next time.